Suspected Boko Haram militants have killed at least 15 people in an attack in the northeastern Nigerian city of Maiduguri. 84 others were also wounded when Boko Haram jihadists clashed with Nigerian soldiers overnight. The victims were killed while trying to escape the fighting. An official from the State Emergency Management Agency said they've recovered the bodies from the two villages of Bale, Shuwa and Kura. This is the most significant attack on the city since the government said last week that it was in talks with the insurgents. Well, for the latest on this story, we are joined by Deji Badmus, who is live for us in Lagos. Deji, what more can you tell us about this deadly fighting in Maiduguri?
Well, Karen, there hasn't been any major update. The military has not formally spoken about the attack, but the head of the military operation in the northeast of the country now has said no soldier was killed in the attack, and indeed he said no civilian actually died. I mean, contradicting some of the stories we're getting from that place now. He said those who died were actually Boko Haram insurgents, but I think things would become clearer as time goes on. But emergency services are reporting that the number of persons killed, 18 actually, that's the number of persons. They said the number of bodies, according to them, they've recovered from the two villages that were attacked. But so far, nothing official from the government, neither have we had any official statement now from the military.
And Deji, how does this upsurge in violence affect the Nigerian government's efforts to pursue a ceasefire deal with Boko Haram?
Well, first of all, Karen, as we speak, there's no ceasefire deal in place. What the government actually said is that it's in talks with Boko Haram to broker a ceasefire. So the ceasefire deal is not in place. Now, how this is going to impact that talk now, we do not know. And one thing we must understand is this. The government is actually talking to a faction of Boko Haram. Don't forget, we have at least 3 factions of Boko Haram. We wouldn't know which faction actually carried out this attack. If it's the Abubakar Shekau faction or the Al-Banawi faction, we do not know. But what we do know is that the federal government has been in talks, ceasefire talks now with the Al-Banawi faction. The government has not said it's in talks now with the Abubakar Shekau faction. So I think we are still going to continue to have this until that ceasefire is brokered. Let's also not forget that some years ago, I think about a year or two ago, when the government actually announced a ceasefire, eventually Boko Haram did not honor that ceasefire. So I think it might take some time. We wouldn't know which faction actually carried out this attack. Now, will this jeopardize those talks? We do not know for sure. But what the government has continued to say is that the talks are ongoing. No agreement has been reached yet. There's no ceasefire in place. So you would expect that you would have clashes in the battlefield, if you like.
Okay, Deji Badmus for us in Lagos. Thank you for that update on the latest violence from Boko Haram in Nigeria.